Look at Caitlin Clark's face. Look at Caitlin Clark's face. She know it's over. Just like I knew it was over, bruh.
Fever were embarrassing today. This was embarrassing. This was embarrassing.
I am stunned. Washington is one of the worst teams in the league, and they came out in a heavyweight bout and put the beats on the Indiana Fever, bruh.
The camera caught her, stone-faced, biting her lip, shaking her head in disbelief.
You spent the whole time saying Caitlin Clark injured will help us find our identity. You have Caitlin Clark on your team. Do you want to know what you should try to do? And I understand you cannot play Caitlin Clark ball without Caitlin Clark.
2 minutes ago, Caitlin Clark sat on the bench, not just injured, but furious. This wasn't just another loss. This was a collapse. A team that couldn't shoot, couldn't defend, and couldn't function without her.
Look at Caitlin Clark's face. Look at Caitlin Clark's face. She know it's over. Just like I knew it was over, bruh.
And Clark, she knew it. You could see it in her eyes. The Indiana Fever just hit rock bottom, and the message couldn't be clearer. Without Caitlin Clark, this team has nothing.
The Indiana Fever is in a heap of trouble, bro. I mean, it is hot in the kitchen. Sydney Colson is not it. I just gotta keep it real, dog. I ain't gonna get on here a lot. She looked bad.
From the opening tip, it was clear. Something was off. The Indiana Fever looked disjointed, unprepared, and completely lost without their star.
Like, they were embarrassingly bad without Caitlin Clark. A good coach will figure something out. Does this team play defense? No. I mean this team doesn't play defense.
Caitlin Clark wasn't on the floor, but her absence was louder than any stat line. The offense sputtered, the defense broke down, and what unfolded wasn't just a loss, it was a meltdown. They fell to the Washington Mystics, 83-77.
The game is pretty much over, man. Fever lost the game 77-83. It's just ugly, man.
But that final score doesn't tell the real story. After a decent first quarter, the Fever completely unraveled. The ball stopped moving. The energy disappeared. Indiana scored just 13 points in the third quarter.
We see that the Fever outscored the Mystics. First quarter, second quarter went Mystics' way. Look how slow this third quarter was. 13-16, and then the Fever actually scored more points in the fourth quarter. I mean, the Mystics literally won this game in one quarter.
A stretch that single-handedly buried any momentum. It was like watching a team forget how to play basketball in real time. Sydney Colson was asked to run the point, and it was brutal. She played 31 minutes, more than any other starter.
Colson had 4 points. Look, I didn't expect Colson to score a lot of points. I just wanted her to play the defense. She allowed, well, who was that, man? Was that Melbourne? She allowed Melbourne to just run right past her, lay the ball up. I'm like, come on now. What type of defense are we playing right now?
Sid Colson got burned on the offensive end.
Yet managed just 4 points, 3 turnovers, 5 fouls, and 0 offensive flow. Meanwhile, Aaliyah Boston, arguably the team's most efficient scorer, hit 4 of her 5 shots.
Now let's talk about Boston, man. Went 4 for 5 from the floor, had 10 points. Didn't shoot bad from the floor, but the defense, oh my goodness. When I saw that Shakira was back, I knew she was going to give Boston some problems, man. Shakira is a dog down there in the paint.
But barely touched the ball. She finished with just 5 attempts. That's not strategy. That's failure.
You have to find better shots. You have to find an easier way to find one to go down, all right? You need to find easier shots.
Like, they were embarrassingly bad without Caitlin Clark. A good coach will figure something out. Does this team play defense? No.
Kelsey Mitchell, a supposed veteran leader, didn't step up either. She went 4 for 16 from the field and constantly forced contested isolation shots.
How many times did the Indiana Fever take a fast break shot today? Under 3 times did they take a fast break shot. They didn't even attempt to do this. And it's not like this is a good transition defensive team. They're young. How? You are playing against a team who doesn't run back on defense, and you didn't even try to run.
Even refusing to pass out of double teams. It wasn't leadership. It was desperation. And it cost them over and over. But the worst stat? 0 fast break points. A professional basketball team played 40 minutes and didn't score a single transition bucket.
Last time Kayla Clark played them, man, she nearly had dinner half the points. Look at Kayla Clark's face. Look at Kayla Clark's face. She know it's over. Just like I knew it was over, bro. I had to come down here to make the video in the studio, bro, because I knew it was over, bro. It's over. It's 1:11 right now.
That's not just bad execution. It's a total lack of identity. They didn't push tempo, didn't find rhythm, and didn't seem to know what they were doing on either end of the court. Caitlin Clark wasn't just missed. She was needed. Every possession without her exposed a brutal truth.
I am stunned. Washington is one of the worst teams in the league, and they came out in a heavyweight bout and put the beats on the Indiana Fever, bro. They need Caitlin Clark back in a major way, dog. The point guard position is simply non-existent on this Indiana Fever basketball team. I mean, this is crazy. Sydney Colson played more minutes than Aaliyah Boston, dog.
There is no plan B. The team didn't just lose their best player. They lost their engine, their system, their structure. And from the sideline, Clark sat with her head down, biting her lip, shaking her head. She knew what everyone else could see. This team is completely falling apart without her. The frustration was written all over Caitlin Clark's face. Sitting on the bench, unable to help, she watched possession after possession fall apart.
Impressive display by the Mystics, who, if they had Georgia Amore, would be a very interesting team. The loss of Amore really hurt them, but Sykes has played well as well. And in this one, it was Iriafen with 16 points and 8 boards. Citron with 13 points, 7 boards.
Turnovers, forced shots, blown assignments. It wasn't just sloppy basketball. It was a complete breakdown of effort, execution, and leadership. And Clark? She saw it coming before the rest of the world did.
DeWanna Bonner at least had a good game today, man, for the most part. She should have did better when it comes to the rebounding department, but she played 24 minutes, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 14 points.
What made it worse was the coaching. Aaliyah Boston, the team's most reliable post threat, was ignored for most of the game. She went 4 for 5 from the field, nearly perfect, but barely saw the ball. Meanwhile, Sydney Colson, who's supposed to be a floor leader, took 7 shots, committed 5 fouls, and turned the ball over 3 times.
Lexi Hall played approximately 30 minutes. Looked like Lexi Hall played the most minutes, man. She only had 9 points, 2 assists, and 4 rebounds. My goodness, it is ugly. I can't even lie, bro. I don't think that they're going to pull this one off. It is over, bro. I mean, it's simply nail and coffin for the Indiana Fever, dog, at this point.
It was as if the Fever forgot how to use their own stars. The rotations were baffling, the sets were non-existent, and the decision-making was flat-out embarrassing. Fans noticed, too. Social media exploded the moment the game ended. One post read, "You've got Aaliyah Boston touching the ball once every 10 possessions, while Coulson runs the offense like it's a rec league."
This was embarrassing. This was embarrassing. And how much grace are we going to give to a coach because the coach says, we're working things out for the rest of the season. We're trying to figure out our identity. Do you want to know what your identity is? You shouldn't need to figure out your identity. You have Caitlin effing Clark on your team.
Another fan simply said, "This team looks like they don't even practice." And it's hard to argue. Kelsey Mitchell, expected to be the offensive anchor in Clark's absence, delivered another disaster. 4 for 16 shooting, no ball movement, no adjustment. She forced her own offense while ignoring open teammates, creating more chaos than stability. Isolation plays that led nowhere. Missed opportunities that never should have been taken.
When it's just about to end, it's not fully over, she just shoved Brittany Sykes for no reason. She was just running around hacking people at inopportune times.
Lexi Hull played the most minutes on the team, 30 total, and managed just 9 points.
Lexi Hall played approximately 30 minutes. Looked like Lexi Hall played the most minutes, man. She only had 9 points, 2 assists, and 4 rebounds. My goodness, it is ugly. I can't even lie, bro. I don't think that they're going to pull this one off. It is over, bro. I mean, it's simply nail and coffin for the Indiana Fever, dog, at this point.
Sophie Cunningham expected to provide veteran presence, collapsed under defensive pressure. Dana Bonner was the only one who looked like she wanted to compete, scoring 14 points in 24 minutes. But one bright spot isn't enough to fix a system that's completely broken.
At least Dawana Bonner got a nice shot to end the game with 21 points. At least Dawana Bonner did something.
Then there's the bigger picture. The Fever's entire game plan seems to evaporate without Caitlin Clark on the court. No transition game, no pace, no leadership, and no urgency. For a team that was supposed to be building around a generational rookie, they've shown no signs of knowing how to function without her. She's not just the point guard, she's the soul of the offense. And while Clark didn't speak after the game, she didn't need to. Her face on the bench said everything.
Last time Caitlin Clark played them, man, she nearly had dinner half the points. Look at Caitlin Clark's face. She know it's over. Just like I knew it was over, bro. I had to come down here to make the video in the studio, bro, because I knew it was over, bro. It's over. It's 1:11 right now.
The quiet disbelief, the disappointment, the fire burning behind those eyes as she watched her team collapse in real time. Not because they lacked talent, but because they lacked heart, structure, and any sense of accountability. And Clark, she's had enough. The most telling moment came late in the fourth quarter. Caitlin Clark, still on the bench, staring at the floor, shaking her head as the final seconds ticked away. It wasn't just disappointment, it was disbelief. Because this wasn't just a team losing, it was a team imploding.
It's just ugly, man. Let's check out the box scores here real quick. The game is pretty much over, man. Fever lost the game 77-83. Stephanie White is going to have to answer a lot of questions, man.
And the fans saw it too. Posts flooded social media. This team has no identity without Clark. If she's not playing, I'm not watching. That's not just emotional reaction. That's a red flag. The Fever aren't just struggling on the court. They're losing the fan base. A rookie should never be the entire foundation of a franchise. Yet here we are.
Indiana Fever lose to a young Washington Mystics team without Caitlin Clark.
The Indiana Fever is in a heap of trouble, bro. It is hot in the kitchen.
Even ESPN took notice. Their report highlighted that Clark was more vocal in the huddles than the coaching staff. Let that sink in. A first-year player, sidelined with injury, showing more leadership than the entire bench combined. That says everything. The rotations, a disaster. The effort, inconsistent. The strategy, non-existent. Without Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever are exposed. No pace, no creativity, no cohesion. Just a talented roster wandering through games, hoping for a miracle.
This was just an ugly, ugly game for the Indiana Fever. And I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a long road to success because the way it's looking without Caitlin Clark, man, they might not win a game.
And from the sidelines, Clark is watching it all unfold, with the expression of someone who knows she's the only thing holding it all together. Caitlin Clark didn't say a word, but her face said everything. Frustration, disappointment, a silent demand for more, from her teammates, from her coaches, from the entire organization. This wasn't just a bad game, it was a wake-up call. Without Clark, the Indiana Fever are lost.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT.
She signed my jersey. I'm so happy. I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball. Period.
She just brings so much passion to the game, and look at all these people that just want to come and see her.
It is no secret that the Indiana Fever are the most popular team in the WNBA. It is good for the entire WNBA.
No structure, no fire, no direction. And now the pressure's mounting, not on Caitlin, but on everyone around her. Because when your injured rookie shows more leadership than your coaching staff, something is deeply broken. The Fever don't just need Caitlin Clark back, they need to give her something worth coming back to. Until then, the scoreboard won't be the only thing that's ugly. So the question now isn't when she'll return, it's whether anything will be fixed when she does.
The Indiana Fever just released this information about 20 minutes ago. They stated Caitlin Clark has suffered a left quadricep strain.
Caitlin Clark will be out for at least 2 weeks. She has a quad strain that has been bugging her since training.
Caitlin Clark does not look right on the sideline. Caitlin Clark is coming out. She has heat compression on her quad. She was playing injured.
Cam, that stinks for the Fever, obviously. That stinks for our city. That also stinks for the WNBA as a whole.
She's going to be out at least 2 weeks with a left quad strain.
Something must have happened in that New York Liberty game that forced Caitlin Clark to go to the doctor to possibly get x-rays.
Not the same injury, though it is kind of odd that it is on the same muscle. And depending on the grade, they're graded grades 1, 2, and 3. Grade 3 needs surgery.
Scheduled to be examined on June the 9th. That is a re-examination date, so it's probably going to take at least a little while after that. And quadricep injuries are, the kind of injury it could be a few weeks.
It's also terrible news for the WNBA, which relies on Clark for so much attendance, viewership, social media, merchandise, in a way no sports league has ever before.
There is literally footage of Caitlin Clark putting heat compression towards her leg. There is literally footage of her putting heat packs on her leg.
Caitlin Clark is undeniably the offensive engine, which is what I mentioned earlier. She averages 19 points, 9.3 assists, and 6 rebounds a game, and nobody even comes close to the assists.